All right, guys, so today we're going to be hitting on step 3 here on our tracker sheet, which is getting people results. This is important for a lot of reasons, but first and foremost, right, if people are purchasing through us, we want to make sure that we are doing everything in our power to continue supporting them and reaching their goals. Luckily, our products and our programs are absolutely amazing, and it's at the end of the day, it's going to be up to that person to press play. But as coaches, that purchase is just the beginning. That is where our work begins in terms of continuing to support them and reaching their goals. But as soon as somebody purchases, what I like to do is I send them a little welcome email. I'll share a sample of what I send. Specifically, if somebody purchases a challenge pack, I'll share that in the group so you can kind of see and take ideas from it, take inspiration, change things, make it your own. But I like to send that just so they have that in their email and I don't have to rely on Messenger to get them all kinds of information and overwhelm them in the beginning. So that's kind of the first thing once they make that purchase. I also make sure that, at that point, hopefully they already know about our groups, and if they don't, of course, make them aware and just really play up the groups, because that is what makes what we do so special, is having that online community to access every single day. And so help them to see the power of that, really urge them to dive into it and give it a try. The groups are not gonna be for everybody, you guys, but they are for a lot of people, especially when they're doing these programs at home. So really play up the groups, make sure they're getting that invite to whatever group you have going on at the time, and then of course moving forward. But also, that's going to be a chance for them to see what the community is really about. And if they love the programs and the products in the community and they're getting results and feeling good, they could be a future coach, right? So anyhow, kind of, address those things early on. Make sure you're aware of their goals. Hopefully by the time they're purchasing, you already know what their goals are, but if you don't, then make sure you get clear on those. They can share what those are in the tracker app, but then also hopefully in your conversations, you're finding out those things that they want to achieve and why. So as far as the first thing here, contributing to your challenge group, right? There's a couple of things with that. So obviously making sure that you are logging, your workouts, your Shakeology, your nutrition, your struggles, your victories, right? You are an active participant, and just like everybody else is, right? We are in the trenches with people, you guys, as coaches. We can't just, set up these groups and expect them to run themselves. We've got to be the example, and we've got to show that we are putting in the work too, and that, we have our good days and our bad days, but we will not quit on ourselves. And then, so obviously contributing in that way, but also using that as a way to keep tabs on your people. The Challenge Tracker app has made it so nice because we can really easily see when is the last time that somebody logged? What is it that they logged? And so I know, especially when I have brand new people, that first day or two of the group, if I don't see them post something, you better believe I'm messaging them. I'm sending them a message, or however the best way I'm, been communicating with them personally, individually. I'm going to reach out to them and say, hey, I didn't see you post anything yet. Just want to make sure you're good. Because you never know. Sometimes people don't get the invite to the group. Sometimes they just, things get busy, or it could be something else. So just check in on them immediately. Especially if they are brand new to the group, a brand new customer. But then also within the group, what I like to do and what I've been doing a lot recently is you could obviously do this on Facebook groups too, but I tag a lot of my new people. If I have people that are doing a program with me specifically, or if they're new to the group, I like to tag them in my post. So it's kind of hey, and I'll ask a question or something, or say, hey, can't wait to see that workout post, or how was your day so far? Just to kind of engage with them a little bit more personally. So tagging people in the groups is a great way, or if somebody disappears for a day or two, you kind of tag them there and say, hey, where are you at? Or again, reach out to them via messenger, or however you're communicating with them. But yeah, so those are just a couple of ways to kind of, engage with people through our groups. Now, when I have new people, so I try to check in with them personally at least once a week. at least for that first month or so. You kind of feel out as you go along the people that are going to need a lot more a lot more check-ins versus those that won't. And so my new people, I make sure at least once a week, I'm just touching base with them and saying, hey, like, how are you feeling? How are you liking your workouts? How's your Shakeology? How's your nutrition? I don't ask all these at one time, but I just have that ongoing conversation with them because that helps me to like keep tabs on them and see how it is that they're doing. And if they're struggling, we can talk about it and kind of come up with solutions. Or if they're rocking it, that's a chance for me to say amazing, like, and that's also a chance to hear all these great things about how they're feeling and why they're loving their Shakeology, and just validate that they are making that progress toward their goals. So we want to make sure we are checking in with people. Now, of course, as they become more experienced and further in their journey, we still want to check in with them, but you can kind of decide how often you do. I would say on average with my like customers, I try to check in at least once a month. Sometimes more, sometimes less, but like I said, for those newbies, definitely at least once a week, especially in the beginning, just to make sure they are staying on track. Because here's the thing, you guys, you know, if we are helping them to get results, right? I mean, that's part of our job as coaches, but those are testimonials right there. Like if we can have people to speak to besides what it's doing for us, that is very powerful and kind of builds our credibility as coaches. So we have to have those stories to share and those success stories, and, you know, just be able to share about the success of our customers. So then as far as the second piece, recognizing achievement, this is one that I love. Obviously, again, this can be something in a personal message, right? As you're talking with them, just like loving on them and celebrating every little victory, even if it doesn't seem like if it's that big of a deal, celebrate it, make them feel good about it. You can even recognize them within the challenge group if you want to tag them or shout them out within that private community to let them know they're rocking it. That's a great way to just keep their motivation going, keep them fired up so that they can stay on track to reaching their goals. Recognizing through, and that also, as a side note, that's also a great time. Like if somebody is absolutely crushing the challenge group and their program and their nutrition, like that is a perfect time to bring up the coaching opportunity. If they are rocking all of those things, or if you really see the potential there. And then also as far as like more public recognition, I will preface this by saying that if you're ever going to shout out, tag, use a picture of anybody on your social media, okay, so like your public social media platforms and your stories or on your page, whatever, you need to get their permission first, okay? Most of the time people aren't going to care, at least in my experience, but every now and then you will get somebody that says, no, I'd rather you not. And you have to respect that. But usually what I'll do is like, of course, I take the time that make sure that I have been like celebrating them and, you know, taking that time to hear about their achievements and how they're feeling and the progress they're making. And if I want to shout them out, I'll just say, hey, you know, I was wondering if you would mind if I do a little shout out to you on my social media, and, you know, tag you and have a picture. I really think your story would inspire people, and just be upfront about it like that. And, you know, let them know that their story could inspire somebody. And like I said, most of the time they're going to say it's okay. But you need to get their permission first. And if you're planning to use like a certain picture, like especially if you're wanting to use like a transformation picture, definitely like make sure they know that's what you plan to use. Or if they don't feel comfortable, you can always say, hey, we'll pick out a picture that you would like me to share. And that's, you know, then they kind of have a say in that too. But that is an awesome way, just giving that public recognition, not only to make them feel good, but again, for other people to see, hey, look, like this is legit. Like this, you know, this coach, this person is, you know, having a role in helping this person to reach their goals, and, you know, to support them along the way. So having those testimonials is so powerful. And sometimes like I'll just kind of paraphrase some of the victories they've shared with me. And sometimes I'll ask them for permission if I can pull a direct quote of something that they shared with me, just to help people, you know, see how they're making, you know, great progress. So I'll do that with my coaches and customers. Okay, and then the last thing here, responding to questions from your coaches and customers. That is something, obviously we have to like make sure we're taking care of our people, whether they've been a customer for just a month. And I'm sorry, I hear Noah awake right now. I don't know why he's up. He's usually napping right now. So I have to go get him in a second. But yeah, so past customers, new customers, like we got to keep tabs on people. So that's why it's important to have a tracking system. Always make sure you're checking back in with people and that they're always getting those invites to our groups. Even if they don't do them, at least they see they're getting that invite, because you never know, 1 month they might really be struggling. Like I've had people tell me, thank you so much for continuing to send me those invites, even though I hadn't always been doing the groups. Like I needed to get in this one, or I've been watching and getting inspiration. So just making sure you're setting aside specific time to check in with people, to answer questions in regards to your customers and your coaches. But yeah, so hope that those tips are helpful for you guys. And yeah, I think that's all I have for you right now. So have a good day.